EP 1. The anime opens with Haraku Mashio conversing with the world's governing god. After enduring a difficult life marked by betrayals and battling a terminal illness, Haraku's untimely death at 39 prompts divine intervention. Recognizing the unfairness of his hardships, the god grants Haraku a new life in a healthy, youthful body, free from illness. Honoring Haraku's dream of becoming a farmer, which he cherished while watching farming shows in the hospital, the god bestows upon him the power of an omnipotent farming tool. Upon awakening in his new life, Haraku is filled with joy and explores the game show-like world, now rejuvenated and youthful. With the incredible farming tool's power, he effortlessly cultivates the land and finds water despite the absence of a nearby river or pond, thanks to the tool's assistance. Interestingly, Haraku doesn't experience hunger due to the omnipotent power, but he sets out to find food nonetheless. He establishes a base near a significant tree that he designates as a landmark. Using the farming tool's abilities, he constructs a comfortable hut and furniture enhanced by his youthful body's keen eyesight. As he gazes at the two moons in the sky, Haraku realizes that he truly resides in another world. With the power of the farming tool, Haraku successfully grows tomatoes and cucumbers, which sprout astonishingly without the need for seeds. He takes precautions by building a protective fence around his thriving farm, safeguarding it from creatures and turning rabbits into nourishing meals. One fateful day, Haraku encounters two injured dogs, a male and a female, and compassionately takes them in. He nurtures them back to health and helps the pregnant female deliver a litter of adorable puppies. Embracing the dogs as part of his family, Haraku affectionately names them Kuro and Yuki, cherishing their companionship on his farming journey. As time goes by, Haraku's farm flourishes under his tender care, and he finds genuine happiness and purpose in his new life as a farmer in this enigmatic world. Haraku's farming adventure is a heartwarming tale of second chances, resilience, and the beauty of following one's dreams amidst the mysteries of a world with two moons. AP 2. After God realizes that Haraku was mistakenly spawned in a dangerous forest full of monsters, Haraku continues his farming using his omnipotent tool. He discovers that plants grow according to his thoughts, and he experiments with different crops. He also builds statues to thank God for his new life and enjoys a meal with the dogs. They discover a river nearby and Haraku plans to expand his crops. As winter approaches, he prepares by gathering resources and making clothes from monster skins with the help of a spider monster named Zabut. During winter, the dog's children return with their partners, and a vampire girl named Lulasi appears seeking help. She ends up staying with Haraku, and they become close. Lulasi reveals she is researching medicinal plants and stays in the forest to avoid danger. Haraku invites her to live with him permanently, and they plan to turn the place into a village together. AP 3. As the days pass, Lulasi uses her magic to assist Haraku, and they grow closer. Together, they find salt in the base and plant more crops. One day, a girl angel named Tia appears, pursued by Haraku's dogs. Lulasi reveals that there's a bounty on her for causing damage in a town during a rampage. However, Tia is surprised by Lulasi's kindness. Eventually, they all become friends, and Tia introduces Haraku to a group of elves who seek refuge after their village was devastated by war with humans. They decide to settle in the forest and build a village together. Haraku helps them construct houses and offers a space for the elves and dogs to live. They start mining and blacksmithing, upgrading their living conditions and creating crockery and delicious bread. Lulasi explains that the forest is technically under the Demon Lord's domain, but they decide to stay as they've built everything themselves. The base is now equipped with an orchard, dog area, and an elf house. Summary: with Lulasi's magic and the help of new friends, including an angel and elves, Haraku's base becomes a thriving village with various facilities and a strong sense of community. They enjoy each other's company and build a peaceful life together in the forest. EP 4. As Haraku starts his day, Zabuton shows him a big queen bee. Haraku decides to make a hut for the bee and her worker bees. After some time, the bees have a larger home, and Haraku plans to harvest honey from them. He grows more flowers around the base to help the bees. Later, he digs a reservoir to draw water from the river. With the help of the girls, they create a waterway using sand concrete, making watering crops easier. They catch fish from the reservoir, and Haraku cooks them, finding them delicious. The elves help Haraku create a rice paddy to grow rice properly, and they successfully harvest and process the rice. They also build a bathroom with a purification pool to address wastewater. Haraku teaches everyone to bathe, feeling nostalgic about his past hospital days. As more elves arrive, they start building homes for them, and Kuro, Haraku's dog, shares a story about a bear encounter. EP 5. Haraku and the others are delighted with their new house, which is well structured and has personal rooms for everyone. They decide to cook curry for dinner using crops from their field. The curry turns out delicious, but the dogs run away from the smell. As winter approaches, they prepare by making blankets, preserving food, and learning magic. They enjoy playing games like chess and mahjong during the winter season. Summer arrives, and they are about to start working on crops when they are alarmed by the presence of a wyvern approaching. AP 6. After the intense battle with the wyvern, Hiraku and his companions celebrate their victory. They decide to cook the wyvern's meat, and Tia and Lu are in awe of Hiraku's power. Meanwhile, in the Demon Lord's castle, they discuss the incredible strength of the person who defeated the wyvern. Hiraku and the others start making wine from grapes and have a joyous time during the process. The goddess of agriculture watches Hiraku's happy life and reflects on her past mistake. Later, Flora, Lu's sister, joins the group, followed by maids, cows, angels, lizard men, and more elves. Hiraku teaches the ogre maids to cook and thanks everyone for making the village more civilized. The village is officially named the Great Tree Village, and they celebrate with a party and Hiraku as their chief. EP 7. Hiraku becomes the mayor of the Great Tree Village and negotiates a tax deal with the demonic kingdom, impressing the girls with his skills. The village pays 10% of their crop harvest as tax but excludes certain items like milk, eggs, honey, and alcohol. They celebrate their victory over the wyvern and prepare for the winter season. Hiraku and the girls have fun playing games and enjoying each other's company. The village receives visitors from various races, including Dorame, the dragon, and the beastmen from the Howling Village. They establish trade relationships and plan for future exchanges. Tia goes on a trading expedition, and the village continues to grow with the arrival of more beastmen seeking a new home. Hiraku ensures that everyone is welcome and included in their community. IP 8. Hiraku continues to learn and adapt to the various races living in the village. He gains the trust and respect of the beastmen, and they all work together harmoniously. Hiraku's cooking skills and innovative ideas impress the villagers, leading to new alliances, such as the one with the dwarfs who become village brewers. However, a conflict arises when Dorame's family suspects him of infidelity, but Hiraku helps resolve the misunderstanding. Meanwhile, Lastus Moon, the dragon, joins the village and befriends Florum, Beezel's daughter, who starts to see Hiraku in a different light. As more visitors come, Hiraku's leadership and strength become recognized, but Florum remains unsure about him. EP 9. In Teju Village, the slimes become a colorful bunch, with a purple slime causing some trouble by drinking alcohol. The girls hold a trial but realize punishment won't work on slimes. The red slime, however, joins their feasts. During autumn, Hiraku suggests adding seafood to their hot pot and learns about a harbor city, Shadow, where they can trade. Lastusman and Forum bring a merchant, Michael, to the village, but a misunderstanding about alcohol scares him off initially. Later, they strike a profitable deal, and Michael becomes anxious about handling the newfound wealth. Another dragon, Hakurin, appears, challenging Hiraku, but he defeats her. She reveals herself as Dorame's sister and demands a bet in a game of mahjong, with strict punishment. Hakurin stays in the village as a teacher, but her presence raises concerns in the Demon Lord's kingdom. Lamia girls seek mercy after being displaced by other creatures. Hiraku trades with them and asks them to wear clothes when visiting the village. Meanwhile, Princess Yuri is misled to believe that Teju Village plans something sinister, and she sets out to confront them and rescue Forum. EP 10. In preparation for a potential war, Forum warns Princess Yuri about the trio of girls planning an attack on Hiraku's village. To prevent a conflict, Forum convinces the girls to surrender and work for the village. They decide to stay and become known as the Town Hall Girls. Yuri visits the village and realizes there was no hostage situation, leading to a more open and understanding relationship between her and Forum. Meanwhile, Hiraku's village faces an abundant crop harvest, and they send food to various dragons and elves, forging new alliances. Ya and her group of mountain elves seek help from the village and are offered a place to stay. Hiraku and Ya work together and find a new dungeon with valuable resources. During the winter season, Ru shows signs of pregnancy, leading to excitement and congratulations in the village. EP 11. Ru's pregnancy progresses smoothly, but she struggles to transform into her angelic form. To give the maids some rest, Hiraku starts waking up later than usual. As the village grows, breakfast is split into 3 groups, and Hiraku is in the first. During breakfast, Gran Maria informs him about 3 killer rabbit attacks, which Kuro and the wolves handle. Hiraku observes the angels act calm and proper on duty but get lazy off duty, relying on others for food and laundry. After breakfast, Hiraku uses the almighty tool to eliminate pests, cultivate fields, and plant crops. He also adds color to the village with flowers and creates helpful items. Despite his reluctance, he joins military training due to the maid's insistence and excels with the almighty tool. After lunch, Haraku notices the elves' nervousness about eating in the morning due to fears of food shortages. The beastmen, unaccustomed to regular meals before, are delighted with the treatment they receive in the village. Throughout the day, Haraku continues his work alone with the almighty tool, attending to various tasks. The maids present dishes they are only 20% confident about, but Haraku encourages them to offer dishes they are 50% confident in to avoid waste. Harem delivers a letter from Princess Yuri, expressing her desire to eat apples again and wear dresses like those made by Zabuton. In the evening, Haraku faces some challenges during bath time, but he finds ways to handle them. Before sleeping, Haraku expresses gratitude to God for his life in the village. The dwarves request him to increase grape production threefold for alcohol making, and he agrees. Suddenly, Vargreif, the progenitor, arrives unexpectedly in the village. Vargreif reveals himself as Rue's grandfather and shares glimpses of his long life. Vargreif admires the village statue of the great creator, wanting it as a gift, but Haraku can't part with it. Instead, he crafts a new statue for Vargreif, who appreciates the gesture. Vargreif leaves the village and enshrines the statue at a temple, requesting discreet support for Teju village. As a gift for Rue's pregnancy, he sends a magnificent piano, which initially Haraku refuses but eventually accepts and places in the dining hall. The three hall girls are excited about the piano but fear damaging it. Haraku arranges for a practice piano, but the girls end up playing the piano at night, disturbing his sleep. EP 12. During a lunch break, Haraku continues working until Rue persuades him to join them. Despite being pregnant, Rue insists she's fine but misses being able to drink alcohol. To avoid temptation, the idea of selling alcohol is considered, but Haraku suggests that it improves with age. Donovan and the dwarfs are initially concerned when nobody wants to drink, but after learning about Rue's pregnancy, they propose increasing production instead. Haraku agrees, believing people will drink more to catch up later. As Rue's pregnancy progresses, the villagers shower her with gifts. When the time comes, Rue goes into labor and gives birth to a baby boy named Alfred. Overjoyed, Haraku embraces his role as a father, uncertain if Alfred is half vampire for now, but he looks human. Grateful for the gifts, Haraku introduces reward medals as a new currency system for the village's growing population. To ease the transition, he distributes coins to everyone, and the system leads to more custom orders, increasing his workload. They celebrate Alfred's birth with a grand feast and enjoy alcohol again. They decide to save a special wine for Alfred to drink when he's older. At the demonic kingdom, Bezel informs them about the baby's birth, prompting the demons to seek a good relationship with the village. Platz suggests marriages between the two communities, but the demon lord misunderstands, opposing the idea. Tia, Hakurin, and Forum share news of over 100 people wanting to move to their village to escape war. Haraku agrees to establish a new village, the Great Tree Village too, to accommodate the refugees. Rue supports the idea, and they begin planning and finding a location to welcome the newcomers.